Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest of streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we are reviewing Too Late.
Too Late.
Too Late. And that's a comedy horror. The title says it all.
Too Late?
All right,
says it all?
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. And I'm not sure this movie does either. Oh, no, I'm bearing the lead. All right, let's introduce the crew. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
You know, you could turn that into a 2L8, you know, in text speak. Anyway.
Oh, boy.
You know what? I thought it was kind of fun. Again, like another.
We're just saying hello. We'll get to the.
Never mind.
We're just saying hello.
I was just going to let him go. I was like, okay. All right, let's do this.
I'm in a hurry. Let's get to this.
Cut to the chase. Cut to the chase. All right. Also joining us is Crystal Cleveland and Dead Girl. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm a little late. I don't know.
That doesn't work.
No.
That doesn't work. But good try. I can't even think of anything.
You have failed.
I failed. All right. So what we're going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to review this film. We're going to start off with our first impressions. Then we're going to discuss the film. The first impressions will be spoiler free. When we get into discussions, we'll dive into spoilers. And then we're going to wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score, a 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. And that's all fun. But let's take a look at what we're talking about. Too Late. Comedy is a matter of taste. And, you know, that is true in multiple of different aspects here on this film. All right. It is available in select theaters and digital on demand June 25th of 2021. It's directed by D.W. Thomas, written by Tom Becker. Cast includes Mary Lynn Rajskub. You know, I couldn't ever pronounce her name when she was on 24. I can't do it now either. Fred Armisen, Jack Sena, Ron Lynch, Andres du Bouchet.
Andre? I bet it's Andre.
I bet it is too. What did I say? Alyssa, Limperis, Jenny, Zigrino, Will Weldon, and Brooks Wheelan. And I actually did better than usual in that time, and I still... A lonely assistant finally finds love and must escape her monster of a boss before she and her new love become his next meal. Yeah,
Waka.
That's the story, and it's pretty accurate too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we should start up. I guess we said it before we get into it that this takes place in comedy clubs, right? A pair of them at least. And our lead is an assistant to one comedian, and yet runs another comedy place, setting up the acts. And then, of course, the monster, our other lead is a comedian himself. So that's the premise. From there, things serve up a different kind of meal. Jeff, you are up first. Comedy is hard. Yes. Jeff, you're up first. What was your first impression of Too Deep?
Yes.
Too deep, too late.
Comedy is hard, as you can tell by the stuff I say at the beginning of the show. Let me see if I can remember what I started off with. I thought this was a fun movie, and I thought the premise was pretty unique. I can't tell if Doc's laughing or look, he dropped his mustard.
I dropped something. Dropped my mustard. Wow, I haven't heard that in forever.
Anyway, I enjoyed this. I kind of like the idea of the creature, although we don't. There's not a lot of special effects. There is some gore. I think I'm back. Aren't I?
Yes, no? You're back. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe. This is entertainment. You're back, Jeff. You're back, and you're gone, and you're back.
I see him. He's fine. He's looking around. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Technical.
So anyway,
for those who are listening, so
I like the acting.
Wait, he stopped himself.
And again, I like the acting. And I thought Alyssa Limperis she's kind of the anchor of the film. But I like the supporting cast too, and I thought that makes it believable. And I'm wondering if the director is female, and I don't know if that helps bring that character out, makes her more real. But I really kind of liked her. What is she? Vi, that character. Also, I kind of noticed well, maybe we don't want to spoil that. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a unique premise. Yeah, I thought it was a unique premise, and I enjoyed it.
Okay, fair enough. Crystal, you're up next. What was your first impression of Too Late?
Okay, so one of the things that I'd mentioned when we were backstage is I've had a lot of comedian friends, and I think that this movie suffers a little because I think it has a lot of inside jokes that are funny, but I don't think they're funny to people who don't understand them and don't understand how that world works. It's really cutthroat. They're really kind of sad people. It's a sad life, to be honest with you. That being said, I think that I enjoyed this movie, but I found it a bit boring, if I'm being honest. It suffers from trying to push a message more than be an entertaining film. So that's unfortunately a fault of it. It wasn't funny at all. I think I maybe chuckled once. And so the whole premise of the movie is lost. I think some people may love it. Some people in this kind of world may be like, oh, it's the funniest thing ever. Sure. But overall, I didn't hate it. And I found the acting good. And I found the lead very good. I really loved her performance. Actually, all the performances were fine. There wasn't any bad acting or bad characters for me in that. There wasn't a lot of special effects, not really much gore, but it is a horror movie. Oh, and also I thought the monster was going to be one thing, and it turned out to kind of be something else.
I did too. I thought it was going to be something entirely different.
So that was like a little bit of a switcheroo for me. But yeah, I felt like some of it could have been cut. It could have been tightened up, and there could have been some funny stuff added to it.
My first impression is not too far from yours. There's a lot of it that I enjoyed. The lead actress, I think, made it a watchable and fun experience in and of herself. The premise did as well.
The concept, yeah.
The concept, cool. Yeah. But I didn't find it very funny either. It felt like it wanted to or thought it was. And I'm sure it is.
And I'm sure when they showed all of their comedian friends, they thought it was a riot.
Right. But I think some of it I felt like some of that was intentional, right? And some of the well, I don't know. I did like the final act. I thought the final act saves the film. It gets really interesting then. Getting there was a little bumpy. So it's not a home run, but it's not a total wash either. So it's kind of one of those films where you're kind of stuck in the middle. You can really get into it when you hate a movie or you love a movie. You can really just but when it's kind of lukewarm, it leaves you kind of hanging there. I think there is audience for this film.
Oh, I do too. It's just not me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I will agree that I really did enjoy the surprise about the monster itself being what it was.
Yeah.
And I did like that. So that's my first impression. So let's get into the spoils of this. Let's talk about Ron Lynch, who plays Bob DeVore, the comedian with quite the appetite. I think he plays that character very, very well, and he does a lot of voice work, like on Bob's Burgers and some other things. Stuff I have no idea what it is, but I think he's perfect for the role. But I don't think the role does much for him. Outside of the monster bits. When it gets into that. Like, there's a room that he's in a lot of time, and every time he's in that room, I think it works. But when he's not in the room, I'm not sure it works.
It's boring.
That way. Yeah.
It's kind of boring. Yeah, I think he was... like I said, I didn't have a problem with any of the performances. I was fine, actually, with everyone. And obviously, like I said, I feel like the lead was exceptional. Something in this movie is severely lacking. Is it pacing? It's just part of it. And what's ironic to me is I really believe, I don't know who these people are. Okay, so I maybe I should, but I feel like it was written and kind of developed by comedians, and it's not funny. Oof. It is. It's like painfully unfunny, and maybe it's watchable the way that it is, but it's not a comedy. So I don't want people to go in thinking this is a comedy, because to me, it's not a comedy. It's not funny. It's just a movie.
But it is about comedians.
That's what I would say about it. Yeah. But it's...
well, Jeff had a slightly different approach when he's in his spiel. So what are we missing, Jeff? Because you're what I got out of your first impressions is entirely different than what we're saying.
Yeah, I this is one of those ones where I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I didn't think it was laugh out loud funny, but I didn't think it was really trying to be funny that way. I thought it was trying to be sort of I hate to use this word. Maybe I'm just thinking of this because of the Alyssa Limperis character, Vi, but it was kind of cute funny. I sort of enjoyed the interaction between her and her roommate. Did I laugh out loud? I didn't really laugh out loud, but I think I was smiling a lot. I guess I could see where you could say it's kind of slow. I don't get what you're talking about with Ron Lynch. I didn't see any difference between him depending on where he was. Now, I will ask you, because I thought he had, you talked about his voice work. He had a very resonant voice, and almost to the point of where I felt like in scenes they amped it up a little. Did you hear that or feel that at all? Like they gave it a little more, like a tiny bit of reverb or amped up or something, like a creature might have to.
Oh, I'm sure.
To get anyway. But I didn't have the same problems that you guys had, and I can't really say what's different about it other than I just didn't see it that way.
Well, like some of the visual jokes, like when the night watchman, right? Runs into Bob, and Bob's not doing so hot. But
right.
So he's like slowly walking back.
Yeah.
And,
he's like, I'm just going to stay forward. Yeah.
So it was a little, it was kind of like unfunny.
Talk about a show falling flat.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was endearing. But again, I think that's because of our leads. I think she made the movie for me.
Luckily, let me tell you, because had it not been passable the way that it was, this would be a travesty. It would be a train wreck. It could be awful. Look, when a movie is supposed to be funny and it's not, it's usually awful and horrible. But this is still okay. I didn't get annoyed that I had to watch it. That sounds so awful. But like if it was bad, I'd be like, oh God, okay.
Now there are special effects. Now you said there weren't many, but all of them involve Bob, and there's a fat suit that he has to wear. That actually, he's on the poster, so I'm not giving anything away.
Okay, that's funny actually.
Yeah,
that was the only time I chuckled. Mm-hmm.
And that works. And there is a scene where, can we just call it body horror related to it at the end? Mm-hmm. That is gory and fun. And that was the one time I laughed. Is when they kissed and they had that little drool from.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And then they, I don't care, and I don't. So maybe my sense of humor is just off. I don't know. But I don't know. I think that was the only time I liked that guy too. I thought he was. There was.
Oh, really?
It was really weird. I'm not sure their chemistry was strong. And they made some weird choices with
her kissing the dude and knowing he saw and not going after him was really oddly written. And I understand she had an agenda and she had something she was trying to do, but if you care for someone, come on. That was odd. And the fact that he was just like, oh, okay, we're okay now, okay.
Yeah. So there was odd choices that were kind of pulled out of a, some kind of love story drama thing that just didn't fit. I don't know, but Jeff loved it. So Jeff, tell me why we're wrong. I
didn't say I loved it. I said I had fun with it. What I said was,
but I think others will too. So I kind of want to know
why.
Yeah.
I told you, I sat there and I had a smile on my face. I enjoyed following Vi's sort of conflicts and struggles of getting out of her rut. I thought that the creature idea was funny. Then, every once in a while, Fred Armisen jumps in, and
I love him.
And
even he totally wasn't very funny in this to me.
But see, I don't think it was. See, that's my point. Is I thought it was as funny as it wanted to be.
Do you know who I thought the funniest?
I just was smiling at it, and that's all it was. It wasn't guffaw, laugh out loud, funny.
I don't think that I judging by the scene that Doc was talking about. I think that they really think this movie was funny, really funny. I believe that they believe that this movie is funny because of the way the way that these little jokes are.
I would call it humorous rather than funny.
I'd call it slightly amusing. There is one actress that I thought was actually humorous and funny, and that was the roommate.
The roommate's funny. She's cute. She wasn't funny to me. Still, she was cute.
I was thinking that when else did I laugh? And I laughed when she was on screen. Like the two times that I laughed when she was on screen that I remember. And there's another one where she's on the couch that I thought.
And doing her TikToks.
I can't do this. I'm sexing or something like that. But when they open the coffin or the box and she looks in and her reaction, I thought was funny.
Yeah.
And then of course when the damn thing wouldn't sink and they're trying to get the thing to sink, it was funny. I don't know if it was shot.
There's something wrong with me. None of that was funny to me.
Yeah, really I was like, funny. So it was slightly.
And that's Jenny Zigrino.
Yes, and I thought she was the funniest person in it out of all the comedians. But so what's interesting is that there's comedy is subjective, right? Much like horror is, comedy is subjective. When you mix the two, it's even harder. But it's interesting. Like Jeff is seeing a lot more humor in it than I am, and then I'm still seeing a lot more humor than you are. So I'm
just like meh.
Goes to show you.
But like I said, it wasn't so bad that it made the movie bad. So there's that. There's that. That's positive. Because like I said, if I watch a movie and it's trying to be funny and it isn't funny, we've We've all seen that. And then you're just like, wah, wah, wah.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't like that. It was okay.
Yeah,
It was okay.
there's a couple dozen asylum films that fall into that category. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. And if you're still hanging out and watching this, we hope you're enjoying this review and many others that we have on the channel. If you're watching, thank you so very much. And if you want to support us, it's easy to do. Just hit the subscribe button or share with a friend, and that does wonders for us. Of course, hitting the like button or dislike button, you could give us a dislike on this one, that's fine. And then give us some comments as well, that we'd love that. We want to take a quick moment to thank our patrons over at Patreon, because without their support, we wouldn't be able to do not only this podcast, but Horror News Radio, Decades of Horror, and Heroes and Droids. Thank you also very much. And Jeff, right? Jeff, you are up first. Your final thoughts, score and favorite scene.
Just to be clear, I think I'm being clear. I thought this was fun, not fun like laugh out loud fun. I thought it was humorous. I smiled while I was watching it a lot. I liked the creature concept, and I liked where it went. I kind of liked the outcome of it. So anyway, my favorite scene, this is probably sound weird, but I'm just going to say the first kill by the creature, that you actually get to see
the party,
what's happening.
The new talent party.
We get to see what's actually happening, and then you go, oh shit, that's not what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I didn't.
Anyway, and then that sort of explains his look too. And I'm giving this a 3.25.
Wow, nice. I like that. Nice. Crystal, you are up next. Your score and favorite scene.
Okay, so I think a lot of you will like this, and I think you should give it a shot. And you should tell me why it's funny.
I like that.
Because I'm going to give it a 2.75, which is a great score. It's totally watchable, and it's lighthearted. Just didn't make me laugh, like, at all.
And you wanted to laugh, right?
Well, with the way it was structured, I felt like I should laugh. But it was done well. It was a well made production.
Yeah, you sound like me now.
I feel like I need to justify this one because I'm like, oh. Anyway, my favorite scene is. Oh, yes. I'll go ahead and say, I've never seen you this soon after eating before. Yeah, when and it's the first time we see him after eating, and that's actually when I did like chuckle, because I was like, okay, that's funny. I think that was very clever and creative and different. So,
and we still don't know why, though. That's the interesting part, right?
But he ate.
Right.
His metabolism is fast, clearly.
Oh, we do know why. Yeah. It's the first one.
The first one we don't know.
Yeah, the first one we don't know.
All we hear is like growling and.
Yeah, he's under the car, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is the one behind the car.
Oh, that was another one. No, the first one was the guy that was the act, and it was in the room.
Oh.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay. Some of them are a little too similar. All right. I'll wrap things up here. I was looking forward to this because I thought the trailer made it out to be, quite the farce, right? And it didn't quite reach the level of expectation I have, and sometimes I fall victim to that. And I think this film is in that league. But I didn't hate it. I really enjoyed, like I said, the concept and the actress, the leads, and Ron Lynch as well. I enjoyed his character. Really make the film stand out and hold its own. It just didn't quite gel solid enough for me to be really excited about it. And talk about it maybe like at the end of the year kind of thing. At the same time, I'm probably going to remember this because it's so unique, right? And it's got a lot going for it. And there's a lot of talent in here, and there's a lot, and it's not a bomb by any stretch of the imagination. So I think I'm going to give it a 3.
Oh, good.
And I think that's where I'm sitting. And my favorite scene is going to be, I'm going to steal the ending in the spittle scene. I don't know why that stuck out to me. You know,
it was cute.
Maybe it's that whole Dr. Phibes thing when, you know, they kiss Dr. Phibes. Why would they ever do that? And then, and then that's kind of what happens here in Reavers. And it's like, oh, come on, and a little spittle. Anyway, when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I'm back on top.
You are. You are.
And I'm on the bottom.
There.
And I feel very weird about this entire situation, and I want to call my mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
For viewers, we were talking about relative scores.
Yes.
Was there something else?
I live 1,000 miles away.
Well, there's a song about that too. If I could walk, no, this not good. I shouldn't have brought that up. All right, everybody, that was too late. That was our review for it as well. Thank you for hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed it. Crystal, Jeff, thank you for joining me as well. And Dave isn't with us, but I am going to call Dave out and embarrass him when he watches this. He did watch the film, but only the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, and he fell asleep during the rest of it. So, Dave, that's you, man. That's you. And you shouldn't have told us that. He's a hard-working man. Because I'm going to share it, and it's going to embarrass you. So,
he's a hard-working man.
He is a hard-working man, and but that is a great story in and of itself. And I was almost had him on board just to share that story, but I don't even want to waste an hour this time. Anyway, I shouldn't have shared any of that. Why did you let me do it? All right, let's say goodnight.
Don't do that.
Good night.
Now he said, "You're too late."